So what I've got here is another ink drawing. It was during the same session with Catherine and her really cool bird outfit. Well, I guess you'd call it a costume, or I like to just call them characters because that's really what the models bring to a drawing session. They're bringing a character with personality and life and energy and attitude. So I just like to call them characters. But what I really did enjoy with this drawing, apart from it being a standing pose, and I love standing poses, was that I really had a chance to get in and do a nice drawing of the face with all the face makeup. And I thought this was just really, really fun to do. And I really do enjoy getting into the little details with that liner brush that I've mentioned it before. It's a Raphael Liner Brush. Again, this is my absolute favorite brush. It really is, unrivaled. I absolutely adore it. I've tried other brushes since, like Kafka makes decent liner brushes, but this is just the best in my opinion. I would love to find another one. But as you can see, I really just got in and did most of the tight facial detail in the first few minutes. And this is working without an underdrawing, so I'm just kind of going for it and finding the gesture as I draw. For those of you who've taken my gesture drawing classes or my fashion classes over at Otis, obviously I never have you guys do this right off the bat. I tend to have you guys lay in a gesture and all that, but this is different. This is a more immediate approach to drawing, which I really enjoy. There's an immediacy about drawing in ink with a brush and not having an undo or a safety. You just go for it. And if some of the lines don't work out or they're not what you want, you just leave them. They're beautiful the way they are. They don't need to be edited out. There's no Control Z, so you have one shot. As much as I love Control Z, I mean, who doesn't? And Control T as well. I'm a fan of Control T. This is a really refreshing difference, drawing like this versus drawing digitally or drawing with an underdrawing. It's just you and the paper. You only have one shot and you just go for it. I do tend to assign this kind of drawing to a lot of my students to clean up their line work in pencil, actually. So I do recommend, if you are having issues with haystacking in your academic drawings, that you're just doing with pencil or charcoal or Conte, take a break and do some of your drawings in straight up ink and brush. It doesn't even have to be a really expensive sable brush or natural. It can just be a synthetic brush. That works fine as well. And just play around with that for a few days or, a week or however long until you start to see a difference in your marksmanship in other media. And you will see a difference. I tend to see huge improvement in marksmanship and draftsmanship in my students within about a week, sometimes to 2 weeks of me assigning a student to draw in ink for their homework. So I do end up seeing a lot of improvement in just the literal quality of pencil strokes or quality of line, you could say. The haystacking tends to go away after they do this for a while. So this is a really great exercise. Making the drawings, I do really recommend doing something like this to improve your line quality. And you get better at just looking at observation, really just picking and choosing what's most important to you, what you want to really focus on, the composition on the page as well. Here I'm just adding some white out to an area that I felt got a little muddy. And again, this is what I like about just making mistakes or whatever. You can't really undo them, but I do always have whiteout on me. I have my students have a lot of whiteout on them as well, because they're fun for mixed media technique. And you can always like fix a few things here and there. And just like adding some extra texture at the end. Well, thank you guys. Subscribe.